Okay, this is a trade review on US dollar, Canadian dollar. I took this trade on the 1st of September. This was outlined in a video that I posted on YouTube that was um, the pairs on watch for the first week of September. This was the only thing I was really interested in during that first week. And um, it presented an entry, a value, and I took it and I've covered. I think I did a trade update video on the 10th of September. Um, this trade closed um, yesterday for it hit my profit target for a full almost 5.5%. Um, this took 20 days to play out, which is a long time for the trades that I take. You can see this consolidation on the 4 hour, and there's the reason I did not close this trade down early was because I was still liking the edge, the level on the daily. The 4 hour 50 was holding well. But let me go back to the higher time frames and break down what I was looking at. I have covered this on the pairs on watch video and the trade update, but as you can see on this daily, it had been trending down for quite some time and needed a pullback. This is a very strong level on the daily and the weekly, and it was decelerating at this level, and it had broken this trend line that is more clear on the weekly right here. So this is the weekly chart. This trend line had broken down, and I was just wanting to take a pullback trade up to this area where this trend line, this horizontal line, and this 50 EMA all meet. And on the daily, you can see I entered here on the 1st, and it came back and did retest this trend line and just consolidated. And I stayed in the trade. I will show you on the lower time frames where I took my risk off the table and actually locked in 1% of profit on my stop, so that if it did break down and I wasn't on the charts, I would at least not lose money and be able to have a little bit of profit out of this trade. So this is the higher time frames, pretty clear, clean setup. Again, typically on these pullbacks, you're not able to squeeze 5% out of the pullbacks, but in this situation, everything lined up pretty well, and it was able to play out exactly how I wanted it to. So here again on the lower time frames, this was my entry, which was right here on the 1st of September after price had, let me just enlarge the 4 hour and show you. It's just a little more clear. The 4 hour chart, as you can see, there's a strong trend line on the 4 hour, which I did trade into. That was one of the negatives of this trade, but it was the only way to get the risk reward that I needed, was to trade through the 4 hour 50, and there was plenty of room on the daily and higher time frames to allow price to have this type of risk reward. So on the 4 hour, you can see that strong trend line. Let me go back to the 1 hour. you can see right here, this is the 1 hour trend line that it broke, and whenever it retested the 50 MA in this trend line, I went long. And the 4 hour trend line was very well respected, and once it finally broke it and came back and formed this higher low, we had a bunch of consolidation that I was happy to keep my trade on, keep it live, just because I still thought on the daily it could go back to those levels that I showed y'all, and that ended up happening yesterday, and hit the full profit. So now I'm going to go back and show you kind of the reasons why I took this. I went over this in the pairs on watch for this week, for the first week of September. Just what oil was doing at the time. Oil is highly tied to the Canadian dollar, and this is where oil was at. It was getting squeezed, so the edge was to the downside, which correlates with the US dollar CAD position that I took, as well as the US dollar at the time was looking like it needed a pullback here on the 1st of September. It had been trending down for a while and needed a pullback to this 50 MA and this trend line. I don't think it's gonna pull up this far back to this trend line, but it definitely was overextended and wasn't the best. This is not the main reason I took the trade, but it was just some more confluence that it was overextended and could pull back, given all the other factors that were lining up for this trade. So again, I'd covered all that before in 2 different videos, and you can go back and watch those if you're interested. But the main thing is I just wanted y'all to see where it finally did close out for full profit target. So I'm going to continue to show you guys my trades as they close, whether they're for profit or for loss. It's just part of trading, and it's the most psychologically challenging part of trading is taking losses and yet still being consistent, because that's what's going to make you profitable, is being consistent and continually taking trades with good risk reward, where your winners can make up for your losses and then some. So I am currently live pound US dollar short, which I took I think it was Monday night, or excuse me, Sunday night late. I entered right at 1. I had set a market order. I was asleep when this got triggered, so this was also on my pairs on watch for this week, but I had already entered this whenever I made that video. So once this closes, whether it won't be for a loss because I've already locked in. I've taken my risk off the table and locked in 1%. But I will cover this once it closes too. It's got some nice momentum. Currently running around 6% profit on this right now. So shaping up to be a pretty good month for me. Do a video on this once this closes. Hopefully these videos are helping. I know there's not a lot of views right now, but I just hope that this reaches the people who are struggling and need that extra boost and need some confidence. Just go through my videos and go to the back testing video. I need to do another one of those. Everybody trades a little different, but just get a trading plan and back test it and be consistent, and the profits will come. So I hope this helps. Leave a comment if you have any questions, and I will be happy to help.